Welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. On our last installment, well, we kind of blew everything out of proportion, and pretty much everything is coming to a very close, if not conclusive, climax. And what we're going to do this time around is we are going to continue this courtroom drama and hopefully get a few things straightened out. So, without further ado, let's continue this trial already in progress. And we're going to the chapter start, I think. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian... No, wait, not Cool Collective Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a dog the entire time. See, she could have also She could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me? Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it was really her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was buzzed with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquittal. Excuse me. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact for her strength and will to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and a person thought to have hidden it. It's Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida, all to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. The one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Bear stated Mr. Andrews' codependency with regards to Miss Impacts? It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. The court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Corrida's room. What is your occupation? Sounds like what I used to say when I was a kid. What's your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Enguarde. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yeah, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. I would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I never even heard of Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all the work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was it or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one has accused you of that. I got a feeling someone will soon. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. When I found the body, it was the time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body, and I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. And she does have the body to boot. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pace. Disrupt her pace? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack her when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? So I hear in a cooch. Okay, got it. The one thing we're going to do is we're going to press on 2. Hold it! And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, one was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Press. Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon. What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim? Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I can't get to her. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? Next is number 5. Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradiction in her testimony just now. I warned her earlier that she would not correct so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive, not to let up. The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to, for Maya's sake. Press number 1. Hold it! And what was Mr. Enguarde doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Enguarde did say he was taking a nap. And I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me, what are you... Right. I thought years at school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Enguarde's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Smart ass. Let's press this one. You were in shock. What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corrida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was the one. I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I've nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. And she adds, I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell onto the guitar case. Well, there's something I want to present. Objection! You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what was that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say that she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end! The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. It may very well be. However, an empty guitar case doesn't seem to have no relation to this case. It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Make her testify. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I believe anyone would reach for straws like this. But It is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow. For now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. The guitar case. Shall I ask for statements? I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all? That's why I opened the case, even I don't know. Seems like this really wasn't a Looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using anyway to change the topic, convenient escape fully command. Well now, I got some stuff I need to present. Here we're going to present the following to the statement. Objection! There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. Strange. You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I wasn't wearing gloves at the time? Take that! I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? And she has a spare pair. I'm concerned about the glasses, though. Really, if the glasses break, well then, wouldn't you think if you were wearing the glasses at this point, you know, you're basically putting your eyes at risk if they break all of a sudden? Magic for the use. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe this guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty guitar. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case? What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic, and lull us all into its misguided. No, Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure that this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your original claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest that the black... So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I would say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the murder? Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Do I actually have it? Let me see. Ah, yes, here it is. That. Take that! This is a photograph! Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory! Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative reporter who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! It looks like we wandered into another mess again, haven't we? Nice shot, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor! The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Enguarde's. Why would something of the defendant be in the victim's room? And inside a guitar case of all places? True. That's a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel the Samurai doing inside the case? What was he doing inside the guitar case? It was a spare costume. Mr. Enguarde did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gateway Hotel? Yes, that's what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had planned to bring the spare to the ceremony. But why? The victim, Mr. Corrida, was the Jama Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? So that's what he intended. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. And then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Take that! What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up right. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Enguarde himself said that he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim. Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was about to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Enguarde. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure! Miss Andrews, I can see why you are pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jama Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? And do you know what this secret of Mr. Enguarde is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. See. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Enguarde? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. And we will hear about that behavior right after this. Stay tuned.